The Galaxy Unpacked event this week and the expected 25 series release may take the stage in the phone world. On the next generation of Samsung foldable phones, however, a few leaks have surfaced, and the newest employ a significant modification for the Z Fold 7. According to a last month report from Korea's ET News, the next foldable would have to abandon the S Pen digitizer, allowing Samsung stylus to perform magic on the flexible screen. The change would fit Samsung's overarching aim of producing a smaller foldable phone. When Samsung unveiled the super thin Z Fold Special Edition in Korea last year, we had a quite good look at the conundrum the phone maker faces. That limited release foldable eliminated the digitizer display layer that powers stylus support. Hence, no S Pen arrived with that phone. If Samsung follows suit with the Z Fold 7, it's going to have to come up with a separate input device. However, Samsung discontinued this functionality with the Z Fold Special Edition, which is offered in South Korea and in China. In the latter country, this model is known as the Samsung W25. By deleting the S Pen support from the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition, the manufacturer will reportedly be able to remove a digitizer, allowing the phone to see a 12% drop in thickness to 4.9mm when open and 10.6mm when closed. By comparison, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is 5.6mm when open and 12.1mm when closed. The digitizer is the layer of a phone screen that recognizes signals from the S Pen and turns it into touch inputs. The new X article doesn't only focus on S Pen support. There is also some information about Samsung's triple fold tablet. Component production is slated to commence in the second quarter of this year, with a debut expected in the third quarter alongside the rest of Samsung's foldable Fold series. This would match prior reports of the triple fold phone debuting this year. Both sources also say that the phone will have a screen size between 9.9 to 10 inches in size when unfolded. We've heard a good amount about the Z Fold 7 and the Z Flip 7 in recent months. However, one of the most recent pieces of news is that Samsung is seeking to lower the production of their foldable models by roughly 40%. This is likely owing to how the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Galaxy Z Flip 6 underperformed in sales. However, for the models that are launched, leaks have suggested a display that is nearly the same as the Z Fold 6 SE. The elimination of the S Pen is a setback for Samsung aficionados, as it will likely mean finding a means to carry and charge the S Pen with a smartphone. However, any move to take a thinner version of the Fold might help address one of its main faults: the phone size. According to the latest assumption, the Z Fold 7 will be the global version of the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition with one important enhancement. Instead of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy application processor slated to power the Z Fold Special Edition, the Snapdragon 8 Elite AP will be under the hood of the Galaxy Z Fold 7. That chipset will be the first Snapdragon application processor built on the 3nm node and promises better performance and energy efficiency. There is more to this story as far as the Snapdragon 8 Elite is concerned, and it is something that we occurred to tell you just the other day. As it turns out, the version of the Snapdragon 8 Elite utilized on the Z Fold 7 might have only 7 CPU cores as compared to the 8 CPU cores on the regular version of the AP. The publication Galaxy Club has identified the code names associated to Samsung's upcoming generation of foldable handsets. Thus, the Z Flip 7 benefits from the codename B7, while the Z Fold 7 is entitled to the tiny name Q7. But now, in addition to these two codenames, a third has appeared: Q7M. Since it employs the same Q7 as the Z Fold 7, this means that another variant of Galaxy Z Fold 7 is really planned by Samsung for next year. Also note that, according to Galaxy Club, the development of this new Q7M model is going in parallel with that of the Z Fold 7, which immediately removes the likelihood that is a foldable model presented as early 2025. It might be a new SE edition, like Samsung started to do this year with its Z Fold 6 SE that has been much talked about recently. However, this is not the only possibility. Indeed, for a few months now, rumors have been floating about Samsung making a model that folds in two, a bit like what Huawei has previously given in China with the Huawei Mate XD. It would therefore be completely feasible that this Q7M is this new type of foldable model, which would also allow Samsung to inject a bit of innovation to a range of foldable smartphones that has been spinning around in circles for years. For the time being, however, it remains difficult to establish with precision what type of vehicle it will be. In any case, as the two Q7 and Q7M versions are being developed in parallel, they should be marketed at roughly the same time. When it comes to the very finest foldable phones, Samsung's name tends to be one of the first that comes to mind. That said, we're seeing greater competition in the foldable area with smartphones like the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold and the triple fold Huawei Mate X-T, even if the latter will never see an official release in the United States. In comparison, the Fold 6 is a somewhat iterative update over its predecessor, even if it does make some noteworthy improvements to AI features, durability, and more. As much as the Fold 6 does right, its competitors are starting to get bolder, and it's time for Samsung to hit back if it wants to stay the leader in the folding sector. The Fold 6 might only be a few months old, but there are a few things I'd want to see changed with the next Fold. Let's take a look at my wish list, as well as the few rumors and whispers we've heard about the Z Fold 7 so far. With the Galaxy Fold 6 upping its price by $100, you think we at least get a reasonable camera improvement, but no such luck. It's not like the camera is all that horrible. It's just quite a bit worse than what you get with the Galaxy S24 series. That includes the base model, which is much cheaper than this phone. I get it. Camera sensors are costly, and sticking to less stunning camera technology helps keep the pricing from running off the rails even further. That said, if you're already spending $1,900 for a high-end foldable device, what's another couple $100 to truly have a camera that's the absolute best of the best? I've always felt poor cameras were an unusual compromise to make for the Z Fold. Unlike the Flip, this product is geared at productivity-focused power users who also desire a tablet that turns heads. That's arguably the same kind of user the Ultra is designed at, and yet those who really want the best are now left compromised. Either they get that stunning foldable display, or they get the rapid charging, camera, and other goodies you'd expect from an Ultra. The Samsung Galaxy Fold 7 needs to overcome this gap, and at the very least offer the same or substantially identical sensors as the Galaxy S25's base model. Yes, these sensors would take up more room and would be more expensive, but it would finally solidify the Galaxy Fold as a flagship-level smartphone instead of a weird Frankenstein's beast that's an odd combo of the bleeding edge and the mid-range. The Galaxy S25 is also due at least 5 months ahead of the Fold 7, so the flagship series would still have plenty of time to shine as Samsung's best camera experience. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 manages to make its crease nearly undetectable compared to earlier models, though that's really only thanks to an extra screen layer and some hinge tweaks. The wrinkle is still technically there, but it's no longer anything your eyes will be drawn to. Why didn't the Fold 6 get the same treatment? There were undoubtedly several considerations involved in why the Fold 6's hinge and display didn't see the same amount of innovation as its little brother, but it's clearly possible to make a larger phone without such a massive crease. The On Plus Open is proof of that, since it manages to give us a crease that's only barely apparent, as seen, or maybe not, in the image as shown. The Fold 6 makes some fairly beneficial modifications to the front display and design, and it even includes a much stronger, more robust hinge than ever before. These were vital initial steps, but I want the Fold 7 to take a leap. It's time for Samsung to provide us a gadget that's almost creaseless, while also maintaining its present trajectory of developing foldables that are lighter and thinner than previously produced. Getting rid of the crease is simply one step, and the next is making a thinner, lighter product that feels more like a typical phone when folded. The good news is Samsung is definitely headed in that direction, as proven by the Galaxy Z Fold SE recently introduced in South Korea. This new model has the same general processing capability and features as the conventional Z Fold 6, but makes a few design tweaks. First, the cover display is now 6.5 inches, while the folding display is 8 inches. This represents around a 0.2-inch size upgrade for the cover screen and a 0.4-inch size upgrade for the folding screen. It's also slimmer to 10.6 millimeters versus the 12.1 millimeters for the Z Fold 6. While 10.6 millimeters is still chunkier than some of the thinnest foldables coming out of China, it's rather tiny compared to other foldables available in the US. Still, I feel the Fold 7 should push things even further. The current foldable thickness winner is the Honor Magic V3 at an astounding 9.5mm when folded, which is not that much thicker than many regular phones. While Samsung has stated worries with going too thin owing to potential durability difficulties, I genuinely hope the Z Fold 7 comes in closer to 10mm. Samsung might be on the cutting edge for a lot of technologies, but charging speeds aren't one of them. It's 2024, and we have phones that can recharge at speeds of up to 125 watt, including the Edge 50 Pro and OnePlus 10T, and yet the best Samsung gives is 45 watt. And that's just on select smartphones like the Galaxy S24 Ultra. The Fold 6 presently adheres to just 25 watt as its maximum. This simply isn't acceptable for a phone that costs over $2,000. The Samsung Galaxy Fold 7 absolutely needs to at least match the Ultra with 45 watt charging, or raise it even higher if the Galaxy S25 Ultra manages to enable even quicker speeds. That might sound rather poor compared to many of the gadgets above, but that's because manufacturers like Samsung and Google both tend to favor battery longevity over charging speeds. And that's not a bad thing. We don't really need 125 watt charging, but at least give us the best Samsung gives. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tech news and updates.